Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
You are about to participate in the most ambitious culinary experiment ever imagined.
This competition is going to test everything.
Adapt quickly to anything. I mean anything. The wildest day of your life starts right now.
All new 24 and 24, Last Chef Standing. Sunday night at 8 on Food Network. Stream on Max.
I now have a really hot, beautiful, famous girlfriend. It's so funny, you know, it's really nice to have, you know, it's beautiful. But it really brings out the haters. First time I saw an article on the internet about a relationship, the headline said, Jennifer Love Hewitt scrapes the bottom of the barrel. And I'm like, really? Really? I'm the bottom of the barrel? I think Gary Busey might be a little closer to the... I think John Gosling might be a little close. Screech might be a little... No, man, it's crazy, man. They take pictures of us everywhere. It's nuts, you know. Like we were minding our own business, you know, on a deserted beach in Mexico, no one around. Like 2 hours later, there's a picture on the internet from like 200 feet in the air. I'm like, this is a fucking seagull work for TMZ? Walking the red carpet with my girl really is a lesson in humility, man. It's intense. I went to the Emmys recently, you know, all these foreign photographers are like, je n'en fais, je n'en fais, je n'en fais. Jamie, yeah? Get out of the way. We're trying to shoot Jennifer, please. No, I love her very much. I love her. I hate being away from her. Because when I travel, you know, sometimes I get lonely at night. And that's when this becomes my party of five. I know what you did last summer. Can't hardly wait. See, I couldn't say Garfield. That would be weird. No one... No. My girlfriend, along with every other woman in the world, is now in love with Edward, the vampire. Yeah. From Twilight, yes. If guys didn't have it hard enough, now we gotta deal with this work of fiction. Girls always like, why can't you be more like Edward? He's such a man. Really? Okay, let's review. Let's see. He looks like a supermodel. He can fly. And he sparkles when you put him in the sunlight. Let me tell you ladies something. Any guy with those traits isn't looking for you. He's looking for your brother. And he doesn't want to suck his blood. He would like to drain another vein.
Hello, love. Hi.
You look fabulous.
Thank you.
you.
So how was your summer? What did you do?
It was good. I toured with my boyfriend on his comedy tour.
Your boyfriend, Jamie? Jamie Kennedy? Yeah.
Yes, and I was his merch girl. I got to sell his T-shirts.
Now, where does he play? How big are the venues? What's he play in?
They're pretty big. I mean, they vary. Sometimes it was, 300. Sometimes it was 500. Sometimes he did theaters and stuff like that. It was sort of all over the place.
He's very funny.
He was hilarious. And I had a blast because I've never done that sort of thing before, so...
Did you really enjoy it? Because
I did.
I loved doing it when I did it, but I can't imagine doing that again now because it's just so much traveling and every city a different.
I have a new respect. I mean, it was unbelievable, and it was just crazy to watch him every night. And the audiences are so different, and sometimes there's hecklers, and you just never really know what's going to happen. But I had fun. I bedazzled his T-shirts, and then I'd sell them after the show.
You bedazzled his like just certain ones, or you do that all the time? You bedazzle his shirts?
No, I bedazzled his shirts all the time, and then because then we could like jack up the price a little bit. I had a mission was just to sell a lot of T-shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you did.
I did.
You sold a lot.
I did. I met a lot of people who were like, "Are you not acting anymore?" I was like, "Oh no, I am. Just not right now. I'm just selling T-shirts."
Just the merch girl. Well, you probably they just wanted to get a good look at you, and you probably could have sold anything. You could have had like pens for for sale.
It was really fun. I had a good time.
Are you as big a fan of reality shows as I am?
I live for them.
I heard that you were. What do you like? What are you watching?
I'm So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah. So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah. The best thing that's ever happened in my life is that there's 2 this year.
I know.
I'm so excited that they did that.
I know. I'm so excited they started again too. I mean, there's so many amazing dancers out there.
Congratulations to you, by the way.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait too. It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So, what else do you watch?
I like The Hills. I love The Hills. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I like those. I like the animal shows.
Yeah.
Like when animals attack. Love to see stupid people and watch those animals just be like, "Are you kidding me? I'm a deer." Like, dude, watch it.
Have you watched yet? I Shouldn't Be Alive. Have you seen that? Oh, you've got to TiVo.
Is it amazing?
It's amazing. It's stories of people that have lived through things that are the most. You can't believe what they go through. Just one thing alone, you're like, oh God, there's no way they're going to make it. And then another thing happens too, and they're all true stories.
Oh,
they're
that's
reenacted,
so cool.
but it's done really well, and it's the real person talking, and it's just things that you just can't imagine. And whenever I'm having a bad day, I always think, well, at least I'm not on I Shouldn't Be Alive. Like there are people that go through things that are just like, oh my God, they made it through that.
I'm gonna watch it.
I Shouldn't Be Alive. Wait. It's really, really great.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna add
that. It's a good one. And Hoarders is good too. Have you watched Hoarders?
No, I haven't.
Hoarders
that
is really
might scare me a little.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me, those shows. I think Hoarders is on A&E, right? Is that right?
Okay, I'm gonna watch that too.
Yeah. Now you're a little obsessed, as most people are, with Twilight.
I love Edward. I really do. My dream is just to carry Rob Pattinson's luggage. Just through an airport. Just want to carry his luggage, get him a sandwich, whatever he might need. Yeah.
Jamie's good with that?
Yes.
He doesn't mind that?
As long as Jamie gets to carry Megan Fox's luggage through the airport, I can carry Rob Pattinson.
I
so
see.
It's okay.
It's a mutual thing.
Yeah. But it's really, I mean, he's nice as well, but it's really Edward. It's just Edward. He watches Bella sleep. And he wants to live with her forever.
Yeah.
I love him.
It's just a character. It's not real.
It's real. That's the other reality show I watched, Twilight. That's not real.
It's not real. He's not a vampire or none of those things.
But isn't it a great, I mean, if you're going to go, isn't that a great way to go? Like a hot guy sucking on your neck? Love that. Love that. Love it.
That's what comedy is. I mean, you got to share who you are, right? You got to have your unique experiences, the way that you walk in and talk to.
It's Jimmy. What's going on, Jamie?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling in Chicago with family. Imagine the last couple of months, like how the world has changed, like upside down, literally.
Literally. It's intense.
Are you doing well?
Trying to listen to people and get, I don't know. It's just like feel weird promoting today, but hey.
I wanted to ask you, what was the kind of the beginning stage for you to want to do this special? Because you've taken a little bit of time off. I mean, you've done a lot of comedy festivals and stuff like that, but like your own stand-up special, what was the kind of the thinking behind it to put this one out, and why did you want to do it in a sense?
I did a special in 2006, then I did another one in 2010, and then I did Heckler, and then I think, you got to try to do one. I hadn't done one for a while, and then the whole business kind of changed in terms of, where you can put specials out. Do you get a DVD? Do you get streaming? And now it just became much more of a streaming thing, and so I was like, I just gotta put something out. It's just my material. It's just my stuff. You get up to a point with material, and then you want to put it out there, and then move on to the next thing.
I like this one in particular. Obviously, followed your career for years and seen a lot of your work, but this one was interesting in a sense where it's almost a look back kind of at your life, and it's a mature version of you in a lot of ways of and you brought a lot of yourself into it, which you always, I feel like the best comedy in general, anything, even acting, is when you bring your own like real stories, real experiences, because people can always relate to that. I think that's what makes comedy great, is you can tell when someone's bullshitting and creating stories and crap that's not real and authentic, but when you bring yourself to it, I think that's what makes the best comedy, because it's real and relatable. And I felt that you did that a lot in this special. You brought your experiences, your life, your history with movies in a sense, your career to it. Tell me the process behind it to make it a lot more personal and kind of, almost in a sense, it was a retrospect of a lot of your life and career.
Well, I talk about stuff that's like, in my, just like what right? So you gotta be like relatable to people. So I have like, I talk about some of the movies I've done. I talk about how people recognize me. I talk about, what they say to me. And so I kind of have to, let people know how my life is, make it relatable, and so then I try to make it funny, and then I go into more of my, basically, I go into my perspective on things, and then I go into my beliefs about things. But yeah, I mean, in the beginning of the special, like, that's what comedy is. I mean, you gotta share who you are, right? You gotta have your unique experiences, the way that you walk in and talk. If you have the lunch at Taco Bell, yours is going to be a different lunch than my lunch. And so, even though we're both talking about Taco Bell, so it's kind of what it is. You have to just kind of share your own thing.
No, I feel that's what makes it special and unique, that no one can, people can relate to it, but no one has the same story. Even if you're doing the same things, everyone's got a different perspective on things in that way. After all these years, you said you've kind of been off from stand-up. How tough was it for you to, maybe easy in that way, to come back with a stand-up special? Is this something that's been brewing for a while that you were ready for and finally found the time to do it? Is it tough to kind of navigate between acting and doing stand-up comedy? Because they're different mediums in a sense, and the way they're projected, but how do you approach that?
It's very different because, one is out there and you're doing it every night, and you're out there working and adjusting and putting more jokes in and adding more, and then, and taking away. And the other one is, you hand the script and you basically just, go there, do it, shoot it once, and then you're done. This one, you're constantly evolving it, rearranging it, fixing it, and it's different. But there's so many more outlets now to do comedy, and I was always doing comedy, but I was like, comedy for a while was quiet, and then around 2015 it exploded with podcasts and Netflix and streaming, and now we have so many different places where content is everywhere. So that's when I really said, I think it's time for another one. But for a while, I was just doing it, and I wasn't really getting so much, I was just kind of leveling out. I was just Jamie Kennedy, comedian, people know me, and I was like who I was, but I wasn't like moving to the next level. But now I believe with your social media and your marketing, you can really connect with the people that like you, so you can create your own vortex of success. So I think you have years fresh.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I did it.
So is that kind of the plan? I mean, do you want to get back into more regular stand-up work, or do you want to like maybe accumulate enough stuff where it feels fresh after, and people kind of almost lust for it after every year or every 2 years? What's your kind of approach now after you've done this special? How you want to approach it going forward?
Well, I think that the goal is to go and, you know, have your material, put it out, have your fans consume it, and then, you know, I've toured this special enough, it's done. Now I have to go out and work on new stuff, you know, so I almost have enough for another special, because I shot a 90-minute special and only 60 was used, and between that and the time this was shot, I have about another hour, so then I'll do that. So the goal is to just put stuff out there, and then, you know, go from clubs, and then go from that to theaters, and then, you know, so the bigger venues, until I can take it to where, you know, I feel like I've exhausted my comedy, where people consumed it enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
I want to try to see how, you know, we're doing it a long time, and now it's time to really market it, get it out there, and so that's the goal. It's so hard to talk about all this with the world around us. It's like, you know, I guess in a way the comedy is needed more than ever, but understanding people is needed more than ever. But, you know, that's what it is, though. I'm just trying to, you know, create it for myself.
Well, I just always felt comedy brings people together. You know, I think that's one, you know, whether the world's divided or whatever's going on, bad times, right? I always felt like comedy's the linking force between people, because it doesn't matter what race or ethnicity or gender you are. I think it brings everyone together to this relatability where you can have someone in a room together, different types and backgrounds and stuff, and have a good time together, you know, and laugh at things together. I always felt like comedy was like this big uniting force that we kind of had in our society that was more powerful than people gave it credit to.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
Looking at what you've done and kind of always put yourself out there, that's really respectable. I feel like
I appreciate that, man. You know, sometimes it doesn't work, but you try stuff. You know, it's something happened in our world where if you try and it doesn't work, you're a loser. But it's like, I've tried. You try certain stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's what art is.
You got to shoot your shot. You know what I mean? You got to take a chance. You don't know what it's going to turn out, but hell, you know, I feel like it's always, you kind of live with regret for not trying something you always maybe wanted to, or, you know, had a urge to try because you were either pigeonholed or thought that this might, you know, change the perception of others have on you. Honestly, that's admirable to try different things and give it a shot. And at the end of the day, at least you can look in a mirror and say, hey, I did it. You know, no matter how it turned out, I'm not in control of that, but at least I tried it.
Okay. I agree, dude. I agree. That's what art is. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like, you can't try. If people don't let you try, then that's just stifling.
Mm-hmm. To look back, you've been part of the Scream franchise and Mask franchise, and they're talking about rebooting them and doing them over. How does it feel to kind of be at the forefront when this was an original concept? You were part of the, in a sense, originals, and now we've come to a point where things are being rebooted that you were originally. Is this something that you would want to be part of again? How do you feel about, in a sense, having some of these iconic franchises that you've been part of now talked about rebooted for a new generation?
Very fortunate, you know, very lucky that I've been a part of something that has really just been part of pop lexicana, you know, pop lexicon, Americana, you know, pop culture. It's you know, Scream has transcended movies. It's not just a horror movie anymore. It's just a great piece of movie, great piece of pop entertainment. So I'm very fortunate. And The Mask, too. You know, The Mask is this thing that has left a burning impression on pop culture. And I was lucky enough to be a part of it. Tremors. Mm-hmm. I'm very fortunate. You know what I mean? I mean, like, when the aliens come, they're going to know certain things, and they'll probably see 1 or 2 or 3 of those movies and go, who's this guy?
Yeah.
I've been lucky.
Man, speaking of lucky in that, I'll be honest, I remember back in the day, there's no other girl crush you could have besides Jennifer Love Hewitt. I was like so jealous of you, man, and pissed at some point growing up. I'm like, you are the luckiest guy on the planet for dating the it girl of at least my generation. I'm 34, so growing up in the 90s and stuff. Man, what a life. To think that you're single, it's almost unfathomable, watching this special. I'm like, man, if I just had a day in the life of Jamie Kennedy, especially back then, that would have been pretty damn cool.
It was a very special time in my life, and I was very lucky, and we were very, it was a great time, and I still care about her.
That's awesome. Jamie, thanks so much, man, for taking the time to talking to me, and it's cool because a lot of my friends are behind this project, so it's cool to finally get to see it and see you do, once again, you kind of go back to the start of what you've done, and comedy's been your thing, man, and seeing that you, still getting it done, throughout all these years in Hollywood, so a lot of props to you. I hope you continue putting out stuff, movies, and comedy, and voiceover work. And I hope to see you maybe direct one day. But just wanted to say, man, I admire your work you've done over the years, and keep on being an original.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Bro. Thank you so much, man. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Okay, be safe out there.
You too, Jamie. Take care, buddy.
Thanks.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.